Let's have a look at the process of coaching. So a friend of mine, hi Dave, has got a really beautiful yacht. He sails it out of Boston, and I think it's about 45 feet long. It's worth a fortune, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And sometimes he lets me steer it, and he watches me while I'm steering it because he doesn't want me to crash it. And I was thinking about how he could teach me to sail his yacht. How could he do that? How could he coach me to be capable of sailing his yacht? Because I could go away and go on a training course and take exams, but that's not the same as actually doing it. And the way you would coach somebody to sail your yacht would be in two parts, really. The first thing is you would divide how to sail a yacht into lots of bits, all the skills you need. It will probably start with how to steer it, and then it will be, let's say, trimming the sail, and then it might be navigating, and finally it might be things like servicing the diesel engine, because it's got an engine as well as sails. So there's an ascending scale of sort of increasingly difficult tasks, starting with the easiest one of steering it. So that's the first thing you do. You divide it down into a learning path. And ideally, you would tell someone what that learning path is. You would say, I'm going to teach you how to sail this yacht. You do want to learn this, don't you? Yes, great. So this is the path I'm going to take you through over the next possibly several years. And then the second thing you would do is that for each step of that path, you would gradually teach them how to do it. And you would gradually let go of control. So the very first one is steering. So what you do is you say, to start with, you would show them this is how you steer, don't turn it too much, be gentle, etc. And then you'd get them to try it, and you'd watch them, you'd stand over them saying, no, a bit more than that, a bit more than that. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So you'd show them, then they would try it. And then once you'd watched them for a while and they seem to have got pretty good at it, you might go away for a few minutes and come back and see how they're getting on. And then you might leave them for longer and longer. You might be able to leave them for half an hour while you go below deck and start frying up the breakfast or something like that. But you're still within earshot, so I could shout, Dave, there's an oil tanker, what do I do? And he can come up and help me. And then finally, when he's been able to leave me for hours and I've never had to shout, and every time he wanders past it's all fine, he can then go to a point where he's not even available. He's perhaps asleep or something like that. So that's the gradual steps to mastering steering, okay? He shows me, he watches me doing it, he checks on me every 5 minutes, and then he's available for help if I'm stuck, and finally he's not available. So what he would then do is he would go to the next level, which is, let's say, trimming the sail, and he would do the same thing. He'd show me how to trim the sail, he'd watch me doing it, etc. So it might well be that for steering, he doesn't even have to check. For trimming the sail, he has to just be around for me to shout if I get stuck. For navigating, he might have to stand over me and watch me because I've only just started on my learning of that. And then finally for the diesel engine servicing, I haven't even looked at it yet. So it's almost as if there's a little learning path for each step on the big learning path of learning how to sail the yacht. So those are the axes. There's how difficult it is, and then there's my increasing skill level, which is the same as him monitoring me less and less. So I want you to think about this. I want you to pick something big that you would like to teach someone else to do. And remember, there are 3 benefits of why you would do this. First of all, it saves you time because you don't have to do this big thing. Secondly, it gives you the freedom to be promoted because you don't have to do that task anymore. So one day they're not going to think, well, we can't promote him or her because we need them for that. There's other people who can do it. But also it's development for your team. So when you teach your team how to do something, they enjoy it, they learn it, it's good for them, makes them feel important and all of that. So there are lots of benefits to teaching your team how to do things. So I want you to think of something big and then break it down into learnable chunks. Okay, so that's the first step to learning how to do coaching. Think of something big, break it into learnable chunks. That is your job for today.